Hi, and welcome to Friday's channeling from Odyssey of Ascension. I'll be channeling for you, and I'm Roxanne Solheim. Thanks for tuning in. Booyah. And greetings to the collective. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. New vibratory state we are all in, a shift if you call it from 909 to 911 in the idea of the New Earth. There is the other Earth that did play out, the attack of ISIS, the war that is currently going on in that world that you have chosen to be on and chose to be here. Most of you, and let's talk the collective, about 95% of you have split your, and let's say created another you in that fashion so you can have it for clarity, but it's always there, that are on that earth and this earth, because there's much communication needed in between your two probable selves in, let's say, proximity is the best equatable term for you to understand. Once again, we've said this before, kind of like rubbing elbows with your other probable self. So, a lot of you in validation were looking for the event. All you have to do is go to that other self and see the event. This is another tool of expansion. This is experience, collective. You're here to ascend a species. You're not here to, let's say, fight the power. You're not here to overcome, conquer, achieve, accomplish. That is not your purpose. Period. This is your overall mastery psyche plan, as Seth says, and I'm, let's say, echoing him right now. That is, let's say, most beneficial upon this probable timeline. Remember, there are millions of other Earths playing out. So on this probable timeline, it is about the fear on that earth that you are experiencing that you will bring over to you in conscious self on this earth in, let's say, dream state and its lowest idea of communication, because that's, let's say, no effort. But the next state is you in expansion, listen now, expansion of consciousness. Your goal in that limiting form, fashion, your idea why you came here to become more of yourself, you now have the ability, which you always had inherently. The idea is to shift into that conscious self that is on that earth. In awake state, if you will. And in that awake state, see yourself from that self and see what's going on. The events are happening. War. Right now again. Allies joining in. Getting ugly out there. Won't last long. Why? Because no one wants it. You're so tired of it. That's why this you is over here. Playing out this part. To see from that you what you don't want once again. So in this you, in release, because you're not truly participating in it, in this, let's say, social conscious self, this one here, now, you deem as only one of yourselves, is not experiencing that in the physical idea. Your conscience being that. However, that is a conscience as well, being that, feeding this you, the, let's say, ideas, so you can see exactly what you don't want once again. So take this to heart. 909, 911. Big pinnacle shift in Earths. 3 days of, let's say, chaos of occurrence has happened. There, let's say, will be remembrance of them in your news, possibilities, probabilities, and let's say, on the outskirts of your framework that you view yourself as, will be the understanding, the beckoning from that entire earth over there to once again solidify the expansion of this conscious ascension timeline into its next idea of new earth. Heaven on earth. Whatever term that is still playable, definable, acceptable in your idea of reality. And in that awareness, there is a, let's say, conscience, total conscience collective vibration, and let's say we'll use it in the idea of Navi, Bashar, vibration that is most beneficial for you to understand, listen to, tune in. It's that of more love, in that idea of gaining love. It is really accessible, truly to all of you. You have a higher sense of peace in all of your series of nows. And in that, you will, let's say, not care about some things as much as you thought you did in another time, releasing. Your concern for others' reaction to you, for acceptance and social status, will, let's say, diminish, releasing. And these will be more, let's say, frequent in your series of nows to come over the next, let's say, 3 to 4 months, to year's end, if you will, because 2015 has some more stuff in store for you. And in that, it will become a repetition. And then, of course, like anything else that is a believable trust repetition, turns into knowledge, of course, turning into wisdom. And then it's no longer needed. That's who the new you is in this now, which is that now over there. That's where you're going. You're creating, once again, always, in all ways, a new you. Now, in practicum to see this new you, we would like you to go back 3-4 years. In that idea, look at the you that you were then. Take a picture out, a photograph, a video, an idea that was a pinnacle point of change in your life, leading to the new you that you are experiencing now. And I want you to view this idea, yes. View this idea in the idea of you seeing, remembering, feeling, acting, being that then you. Look around again, and with your new knowledge, look at the decision you made to see where the decision you made has affected your outcome to the now you are experiencing. As well as, when you're gazing upon that idea, be the third party once again in viewership of that event and see how you would look at that event from that perspective. These are just practicum ideas given by Seth. We want you to understand on how you can look at your, let's see, the earth you all left behind. And in that, you are viewing that earth from the conscience of that self. In other words, you're not, let's say, straddling conscience as much anymore. You're more engaged in each particular conscience. Okay? So you're blinking in and out of all of yourselves in, let's say, a fashionable billion times a second. And in that, you are now feeling that shift. 1 at a time, 2 at a time, doesn't matter. You are expanding your multidimensionality ability and not worrying it. The idea of multitasking was the idea given for this idea. You are on the ascension ladder, climbing, if you will. So remember that idea of the practicum of consciously being in different parts of yourself and trusting the imagination, which is, what is it? Everything, period. Trusting the imagination on the, let's say, pictures you're seeing, feelings you're feeling, and everything that will become the new, let's say, idea of an ability achieved in limitation to ability remembered in all that is. All right. Here's an idea. Get on top of this, let's say, the Empire State Building. And you see those, let's say, little quarter machines of binoculars. And they're at all around. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so on, all the way around. Now, go to each one of them and peek through and see that room. You don't need to be there. And we say a room because you create every time you shift a new room. So we're going to slow it down for you a little bit. So you peek through those little binoculars, the big machine, you put the quarter in. Ah, yes, thank you. Sleepless in Seattle. We'll give you a picture. All right. So in that idea, peek through and then stop, go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one, all the way around, taking your time and getting a good view of each of the rooms you are creating, the angles, your individual perspective of the universe. Okay? Once again, trust that what you are seeing is real. Okay? Because you know everything. It is only your limitations that say, it's my imagination, in that discounted form of all that is. Now, shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep going around, and then increase how fast you do it. Okay? Even if it's just a blink of one little tiny particle of information from each one of those viewership ideas, points if you will, and then shift around in that square idea, continue until you go as fast as you can to where it looks like a blur. So use that as a rhythmic idea of a practicum. And that will, of course, increase your conscious awareness of you having that multitasking ability, as well as that overall encompassing ability of shifting your conscience into different realms, realities, densities, selves, and all the now. And literally, with the spider web of all that idea that you've given yourself as a means of visualizing, connecting to all that is, then you can choose where to go on that, let's say, web of knowledge. And then your conscience, in conscience awake state, now has the ability to do what you call astral without the practicum of first learning astral projection and the idea of meditation and quiet and crystals and all that stuff. It's instant. Why? Because that's what you are. Instant. Poof. That's how grand you are. You're God. Boom. All right. So with that, we're giving you all new, let's say, revelations, remembrances in its really truest form, of ways to continue your expansion of self. You're not here to become anything. Stop, look around, smell the roses, sit down, have an iced tea, and that's your life. You can stop, sit down, look around, smell the roses, have an iced tea, but you will be expanding during that and then follow the next idea of expansion. Don't be comfortable in some fashions when there's a beckoning for you to take action that is slipstream, effortless, joyful, exciting. But once you reach a certain resonant state, the practicum in place through trust of fear that you will lose that new state of being that you are, you have a tendency to stay there, maintain it, and then here comes the 3D mind of limitation going, wait a minute, this is an awesome place. We've never been here. Here comes my biggest security ever to maintain this now and this, let's say, self, and let's say not expand it anymore because it feels so yummy. That's transcending the moment of a past now to a new now, and then the new now recreating the old self again and again and again, caught in the repetition of regurgitation of a particular now. Booyah! Are you all following?
Yes.
Wonderful. Time, Rita?
We're at 13 minutes.
Wonderful. That's good for this now. We're going to discuss another idea and get a vibrational feed from what you call the human collective, your oneness of that idea. And then we return in a few moments. This is Ocyphius once again, our eternal things. I bid you a good moment. Adonai. So, what do you think? He was really energetic today. He was like, what? Right there. Yeah, that was good. I like it. Okay, cool. We're good. We'll take a break and we'll see you in a few. Love you.